Now, this is going to be the negotiation part. And this part is honestly the best part, especially if you know how to negotiate and it's not your first job and you actually have some credibility and you've established yourself as someone in this field. Then just know that most likely right off the bat, unless they're very desperate, and let's just say they're desperate, maybe even a little desperate, but you're really fucking good. Like, you're really good. You have like 10 years of experience doing the specific thing that they want you for. They have a hard time finding someone who has similar experience and who's as competent at this skill as you. Well, then in that case, they might offer you like they might blow their full load on their first offer, right? But most of the time, they're not going to do that. Most of the time, they're going to offer you the least amount that you think they think you're going to accept, okay? And maybe it's not quite up to par with what you wanted. And if you know that and you are that type of person, and I'm not talking about, your first job, all right? Maybe you actually you can negotiate a little bit in your first job, but most likely your second and onward jobs that you're going to be interviewing for, you're going to be able to ask for a lot more and be able to, we'll just say, swing your Zer stick around a little bit more than most other people would. And if they do that, let's just say that this position, they got people in there on the internet who are put reviews for this position that they've worked at this company for before, and they were getting paid $200,000 a year, and they're offering you $189,000 a year. Well, you basically just politely tell them, you can either tell them right away, you can tell them, I really like this company and I really like this job and I really like the offer, but it would be a little bit easier for me if you guys could just give me $199,000 a year, or just go right to the 200, whatever you feel comfortable with, right? It's going to be kind of a lot to like ask for like $50,000 more, depending on like the range that you're in or what type of job it is, but anywhere between like $1,000 to $15,000 more per year, that's not absurd, all right? Now, they might come back and push you down a little bit more at that point, because they're going to try to meet you in the middle mark. And at that point, like, you should, when you're given your first counter offer, you should always overstep just a little bit, unless you know the actual ranges they're paying for people in this position at the company. If you just overstep a little bit and you know that their counter offer is going to come, they're going to send you a counter offer and come back. So maybe you ask for $15,000 a year more, and they end up saying, okay, we'll give you $12,500 a year more. At that point, I would, unless you have some kind of reason to, I would probably just take it and call it a day. And once you finish that part, I mean, you're pretty good. You're pretty good to go, and there's nothing else left. You got the job, and yay! I got a little six-figure job. Yay! Hooray! Clap. And you can prepare for the next job if that's what you want to do. Most likely, if you're trying to continually level up and make more money and get more hands-on experience, different fields, you're going to want to do that. But the final part, and the first level and the final level, guys, the first level and the final level, the smartest people have the hardest time with, okay? And usually the people who are the least like technically smart have the easiest time with level 1 and the final level. All right? That's because it takes a little bit of like social skills and knowing when you can overstep a boundary a little bit and when to not overstep boundaries a little bit, and vice versa. Like, usually the people who are less technically savvy but more social savvy are going to have an easier time at the first and the last level, but a harder time with these levels in the middle. All right?